Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 Visual Novel and Narrative Game Design online course. In the last lesson we finished the animations of the Dialog widget, and in this one we are gonna start setting up the framework for the dialogue. So let's begin with creating a new enumeration to host our names. I'm gonna go on Blueprint folder, gonna right click and gonna enter the enum folder. I'm gonna right click and create a new enumeration. Blueprint, enumeration. I'm gonna call it eNames and I'm gonna enter it. So for our example script, we have three, let's say, names. So I'm gonna add three variables. The first one would be Hikari. The second one would be Elder. And the third one would be Lady. Let's check really quick. Elderman, okay. So this would be Elder. I'm gonna save this. Now, this is the time to create the structure for our dialog. So we can use it with the data table. So I'm gonna go to Blueprint, Structure, call it st underscore dialog. Setup actually. And I'm gonna add four variables. The first one would be name, which will use the type of eNames, the enumeration we just made. The second one would be an expression. I typed it wrong. I'm not even sure if this is correct. Anyway, it will be of the type texture2D. The third one would be sound cue for SFX. And the fourth one would be of type string. This would be the line, the script, whichever you want to call it. So, string. I'm gonna save this. And now we're gonna create the new data table. So we go to miscellaneous and we go to data table. And for the structure, we're gonna select the dialog setup. I'm gonna name it DT dialog. Now, let's open this and let's create two more variables just for test. First one I'm gonna call row1, row2. Let's use Hikari for the name and let's put some expression, happy and cheerful. I'm sorry, this is the sound. So let's put two sound cues actually. This is fine. Let's put a line also. Blah blah 1. And the second one, expression. Cheerful. This one. Blah blah 2. Cool, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna bring this here. And actually, let's make a second row on the DT testing script. This 2. And this is also gonna be dialog. We won't change music, we won't change background. Cool. I'm gonna save this data table. And now it's time to go to Script Manager. So let's begin with creating our click event. So I'm gonna right click and say mouse left button. Now we have a released and pressed and released. We only will gonna use the pressed. And the first thing we want to know is can we continue? Is there any reason so we can continue? So I'm gonna create a branch and I'm gonna unclick the condition and promote it to variable and say all this proceed. Actually can't proceed. And bring it here. Now, if this is true and we can't proceed, then something should happen. Just so for our convenience, we don't have a huge line here on the mouse buttons. I'm gonna create an event and call it. So I'm gonna right click and set custom event and call this action. And I'm gonna call it from here. So now everything we need to do on action can be done here. So we have things a little bit more tidy. So what do we need to do on action? First of all, we have to set the can proceed to no, which is the default value actually. But every time that we are pressing the mouse button and it continues, the first thing we should do is you can't continue anymore. So if the player is just clicking, you won't skip all the dialogues. Now, the second thing we need to do, and we're gonna go a little bit back and forth in blueprints and widgets, and we're gonna be doing this for the whole tutorial, is that we're gonna go back to WG Dialog, widget dialog, and we're gonna create a clear text, a custom clear text actually. So custom event, we're gonna call it clear text. We're gonna get our text dialog and set text to nothing. And let's comment this. And now we're gonna get our HUD. Yes, now it's time to populate the HUD also. So in the widget HUD, let's bring from user created the dialog, bring it inside the HUD, and let's set it to anchor full screen and 0 the offsets. Now from back to our script manager, we can, from the HUD reference, we can get the dialog. I'm sorry, we have to make it a variable also. So on WG dialog that we just added, we're gonna click is variable, compile, and now we can call it. And now from the dialog, we can call clear text. So we keep everything nice. Next action would be to proceed the script counter to +1. So we got script counter, we did a +1, and we're gonna set it to that value. To be honest, we could put this in a function, collapse to function, and call this next row. And after that, we need to get the script row information. So we're gonna use our function we created before, connect it here, and we will connect this also. I'm gonna make it to string, and string auto converts to text. It's fine. Now we have to switch based on what type. If you remember, we have the special event here, what type of the script event it is. So we're gonna get our variable special event and select, no, switch based on script. Now we have all these choices, what will happen based on what the script special event is. So I think this is a good stopping point, and I'm gonna see you on the next. Goodbye.